In the quiet corridors of power, where whispers carry more weight than declarations, two giants of intelligence play a silent, unending game. On one side, you have the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, America's eyes and ears across the globe. They are sprawling bureaucracy, a behemoth of data and resources born from the ashes of World War II. Their mission, on paper, is to protect American interests. But what that truly means often gets complicated. They operate from Langley, a place that feels more like a university campus than a spy headquarters. But behind the calm exterior, they are running agents, analyzing intercepts, and shaping foreign policy in ways we can only guess at. On the other side, there is Mossad. The name itself sounds like a secret. It's Hebrew for the Institute, Israel's legendary intelligence service. They are smaller, leaner, and arguably more ruthless. Forged in the crucible of a nation fighting for its very survival, Mossad's agents are known for their audacity and their willingness to take incredible risks. They don't have the endless budget of the CIA. They don't have the same global infrastructure. What they have is a singular, intense focus for the preservation of the state of Israel. This gives them a certain edge, a clarity of purpose that can be terrifyingly effective. It's a different mindset entirely. These two agencies are allies, of course. They share intelligence. They coordinate on counterterrorism. The official line is one of steadfast cooperation, but beneath this public handshake lies a deep and complex rivalry. It's a fascinating dynamic. They are friends, but they don't fully trust each other. Each one knows the other is capable of deception. Each one is constantly trying to figure out what the other isn't telling them. It's a partnership built on mutual interest, but also on mutual suspicion. A dance where both partners are leading at the same time, trying not to step on each other's toes, but always ready to, if needed. The stage for their competition is the entire world. A dusty marketplace in the Middle East, a high-tech laboratory in Europe, a diplomatic reception in Washington, D.C. In these places, their agents might be working together one day and against each other the next. The stakes are impossibly high. A wrong move could lead to a diplomatic incident, a failed operation, or worse, loss of life. It's a world of shadows and mirrors, where the person smiling at you across the room might be your closest partner or your most dangerous competitor. And it's been this way for decades, a silent, ongoing showdown just out of public view. The year is 2007. Deep in the Syrian desert, something is being built. Something secret. Satellites pick up strange activity at a remote location called Al-Kabar. The CIA starts looking. Their analysts see a large, windowless, box-like structure. It looks worryingly similar to North Korea's Yongbyon nuclear reactor. The Americans are cautious. They gather data. They hold meetings. Their approach is methodical, bureaucratic. They want to be absolutely certain before they act. The question for them is not just what it is, but what to do about it. Diplomacy, sanctions, The options are weighed with agonizing slowness. Mossad, however, is not feeling so patient. For Israel, a Syrian nuclear reactor, possibly built with North Korean help, is not a theoretical problem. It is an existential threat right on their doorstep. They can't afford to wait for committees in Washington to make up their minds. So they activate their own assets. They don't just rely on satellites. They need to get inside. The story goes, and it's a story whispered in intelligence circles, that Mossad managed to get an agent on the ground, someone who could get close to the facility, maybe even inside it. The level of risk is hard to even comprehend. The tension between the two agencies becomes palpable. The CIA knows Mossad is planning something, but they don't know what. Mossad, in turn, keeps its cards very close to its chest. They believe the Americans are too slow, too hesitant. They fear that Washington will get bogged down in diplomacy while the reactor goes live. The CIA, on the other hand, is worried. They fear that a unilateral Israeli strike could ignite a massive war in the Middle East, a fire that would inevitably draw America in. It's a classic standoff. Two allies with the same ultimate goal, but with completely different timetables and tolerances for risk. In the end, Mossad acts. On the night of September 6th, 2007, Israeli F-15 jets scream across Syrian airspace. In a matter of minutes, the Al-Kabar facility is reduced to rubble. The operation, codenamed Orchard, is a stunning success. It's a classic Mossad move, decisive, daring, and done without asking for permission. The CIA is caught by surprise, not by the what, but by the when. The event showed the world the fundamental difference between them. The CIA plays chess, thinking many moves ahead. Mossad, when it feels threatened, simply kicks over the board. The CIA's strength lies in its sheer scale and technological might. It's an intelligence factory. They have a global network of listening posts, a fleet of spy satellites, and an army of analysts who sift through mountains of data every single day. Their method is often one of patient accumulation. They build a picture piece by piece, intercept by intercept, source by source. They recruit agents over long periods, cultivating relationships with officials, scientists, and military officers inside foreign governments. It's a slow, grinding process that relies on trust, money, and the promise of a safe exit if things go wrong. Mossad's art is different. It is the art of the improbable. They are masters of human intelligence. Human, as it's called in the trade. They don't have the CIA's budget, so they have to be more creative, more daring. Their agents, known as Katsas, are trained to blend in, to become someone else entirely. They might spend years building a cover story, learning a language and a culture until it is their own, all for one moment, one piece of information. They are famous for their audacity, for operations that seem like they are straight out of a spy film. They use deception, seduction, and psychological manipulation with surgical precision. Think of the risks these agents take. A CIA case officer handling a source in Moscow is constantly under the threat of being caught by the FSB, Russia's security service. It could mean prison or being used as a pawn in a political game, but for a Mossad Katsa operating deep inside an enemy state like Iran or Syria, being caught is a death sentence. There is no diplomatic immunity. There is no prisoner exchange. They are utterly alone. The psychological pressure must be immense. Every conversation, every friendship, every moment is part of a performance where one wrong line could be the last one. This difference in style is where her rivalry truly lives. The CIA might see a Mossad operation as reckless and unnecessarily risky, liable to blow back and disrupt a dozen other carefully laid plans. Mossad, in turn, might view the CIA's cautious, analytical approach as a form of paralysis, a weakness that fails to grasp the urgency of a threat. They steal from each other, too, not money or weapons, but sources. An informant being run by the CIA might be approached by Mossad with a better offer or a more compelling argument. It's a silent, ruthless competition for the most valuable commodity of all secrets. So where does this leave us today, on this day, in October 2025? The rivalry between the CIA and Mossad has not disappeared. It has simply evolved. In a world of cyber warfare, disinformation campaigns, and non-state actors, the complicated dance is more relevant than ever. They still share intelligence on common enemies like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. The partnership is vital. When it comes to stopping a terrorist plot in a European capital, they are on the same team. The data from the CIA's satellites, combined with the tip from a Mossad source on the ground, can and does save lives. They need each other, but the friction remains, particularly when it comes to the big geopolitical questions. Take Iran, for example. The CIA and the American government might favor a diplomatic solution to the nuclear issue, a delicate balance of sanctions and negotiations. They are trying to manage a global problem. Mossad and Israel, however, see an imminent threat to their existence. This fundamental difference in perspective means they will always have different goals. Mossad will continue to run aggressive, covert operations inside Iran, actions that the CIA might see as dangerously provocative and counterproductive to their own long-term strategy. This tension shapes world events in subtle but profound ways. An unexplained explosion at a facility in a hostile nation. A key scientist suddenly defecting. A cyber attack that cripples a country's infrastructure. Often, we never know for sure who was behind it. Was it a solo CIA operation? A daring Mossad mission? Or, perhaps most intriguingly, a joint effort where one agency provided the technical support and the other provided the on-the-ground audacity? The ambiguity is part of the game. It allows both sides to maintain plausible deniability while sending a clear message to their adversaries. Ultimately, their relationship is a mirror of the complex alliance between their two countries. It is a friendship built on shared values, but strained by different interests and different perceptions of risk. It is an uneasy alliance, a partnership of shadows. They are condemned to cooperate and destined to compete. This silent, hidden rivalry, this espionage showdown between the giant and the giant slayer will continue to shape our world in ways we will likely never fully understand. They are two of the most powerful players in a game with no rules and no end, and the board is the entire planet.